What's up, guys? J-Base Phoenix here, and we're back with another live stream. Book plug, buy the book, paperback 20, Kindle Limited free 99 minus 99, Kindle, normal Kindle $10. Make sure you rate and give it a review. Now, on to today's everything. We gotta live read chapter 9. Gotta live read chapter 9 before uploading it. So, what up, though, Jay? Glad you can make it to the stream. I need to add spoilers. Alright. So we'll get into the villain group in a second. I guess we'll just jump into chapter 9. It was loaded before, I don't know why it's not loading now. Fills out a disturbed delinquents for right now. Chrome just really needs to be updated. I don't want to update it on stream. Should have updated it before I streamed, but I didn't. Come on. Okay. It's over. Alright, so I think we're just gonna read. That 9 looks weird in that font. Okay. Chapter 9. As Antithesis passed through the gate, he immediately noticed that this was the brightest circle he'd come across. There was benevolent warmth surrounding him as opposed to the harsh heat of the other circles. There was a light breeze, and he could hear the sound of rustling shrubbery. It resembled heaven. Had he gone so far down into hell, he reached heaven? As his eyes adjusted to the light, he could see groups of souls doing daunting, impossible tasks, such as trying to drink from a lake that would recede every time a soul got close to its lips touching the water, or other souls trying to reach for a fruit from a large tree that would grow taller, so the fruit was just out of the soul's grasp. Welcome, a soft male voice said, softly. Antithesis turned to see an angelic-looking being with several black angel wings that resembled Athens. What brings you here, lost one? I am searching for the demon that slaughtered me and my family, Antithesis said plainly. If you know which of your brethren that did it. Which of your brethren did it? I don't put that there. Tell me. I did not know this, the being said. Let me see if any of my brethren do know. The being snapped snapped. I don't know why I switched tenses a whole bunch. And 11 beings, alive and dead, appear before him. The only live ones being Asmodeus, Beelzebub, Mammon, and Belphegor. The other 7 are slumped over as they were already slain by Antithesis' hand. Lucifer, I was eating, Beelzebub said. When aren't you? Mammon asked, then snickered. Don't take that joke, that's mine. Guys, don't fight, Belphegor said. No, if you did, I wouldn't stop you. Asmodeus peered around at the 7 dead bodies as Lucifer's gaze pierced through Antithesis. What is the meaning of this? Wait, no, that's Antac speaking. What is the meaning of this? The Heavenborn demanded. You tell me, Mr. Lee, Lucifer, the archdemon of pride, said. Satan, Leviathan, Antipas, Sigril, Rajaloth, Nocturne, and our beloved Hell Dragon all slain by you, and you expect me to help you. Pride won't let you, Mammon said, chuckling. That joke is also mine. Lucifer's beautiful self sighed. You let those idiots live, but killed everyone else I liked, the archdemon asked. They are not idiots, for they are still alive because they let me pass, Antithesis said, as you should. Lucifer snapped, and the 11 disappeared as they appeared with a wisp of black flames. The tortured souls stopped their pursuits to gaze at the 2 apparently angelic beings. Why do you appear angelic, unlike your fellow fallen? Antithesis asked. Lucifer ever so slightly cocked his head to the side. You don't know my story, James, he asked. Do not? Well, essentially, I'm a fallen angel. Too powerful, or, in the Creator's eyes, too prideful, and challenged it. Instead of recognizing my strength, I was cast down to hell to watch over souls of the damned, with other spawns of Decimus, Lucifer informed. You were the first archdemon sent here, Antithesis asked. Of my own doing, Lucifer said. Samael, the archdemon of death, was already here, along with Lilith, Decimus' daughter, and firstborn. Then came Athen, the failed son that went through the same things I did, except he didn't start in heaven. And finally, the new, dumb one, Damien. He seemed to control much more. It should be then. And the others, including them, Antithesis said. How is it possible you do not know who killed my family? Likely wasn't one of us, Lucifer said. I feel my fellow fallen could have, and quite possibly did tell you that already. Antithesis thought back to the times that the demons told him that it wasn't them. He came to the realization that they meant the demons as a collective didn't kill him or his family. By that look on your face, I'm guessing you realize just how idiotic you've been, Lucifer said. Tell me who did, Antithesis demanded, still determined to fight to reach his goal. His eyes began to flare. No. I don't know who did it. Wait. No, that should be the same line. It's still Lucifer speaking. That makes sense. There we go. No, I don't know who did it, Lucifer said, cackling. Look at you. Gone on another rampage killing someone that you could have avoided killing. I think you like it. Both of the Heavenborn's eyes flare with white and gold, and his fists catch on fire as well. Maybe I do. Instead of immediately swinging at the archdemon, the Spectre decided to test Lucifer's battle style and blasted fire in his direction. Lucifer stayed in place and rose his hands, creating a small hellfire shield to deflect the blast, which worked in his favor. Raised. Antithesis frowned. Seems like your flames have gotten weaker, Spectre, the archdemon taunted. How long have you been down here? Antithesis instead of answering, swung his chains out at the archdemon, but Lucifer simply caught them. They then struggled, tugging on the chains back and forth to see who could best whom in a battle of strength. In a battle of strength. The Heavenborn overpowered Lucifer and began to pull the archdemon toward him, but Lucifer put his wings to use and stabbed them into the ground to prevent him from moving any further. Antithesis gazed at the wings in amazement. They're much stronger than they look, Lucifer said, before yanking the chains and sending Antithesis flying straight into his grasp. As the Wraith struggled to break free break his neck free of the clutches of the Archdemon of Pride smiled in his face, taking a second to gloat. You honestly think you can best me? I have been around nearly since time began, and you think you can best me. We're constantly warring with the angels, so I'm never out of shape for battle. But you come into my circle, enhanced by some bullshit my old brothers gave you, and you think you can best me. I had no trouble killing your brothers and sisters before me, Antithesis said. Sweat dripping down your forehead says otherwise, Spectre, Lucifer said, force squeezing, making sure it's all past tense. Yeah, okay. For squeezing and nearly breaking the spirit's neck, but Antithesis was able to escape by opening his mouth and breathing the plasmic holy fire that rested within him onto Lucifer's face. My legs hurt. The Archdemon screamed in pain and immediately let Antithesis go. Antithesis then withdrew Dimension Splitter and stabbed it through the Archdemon's side through the ground, pinning Lucifer. He then raised a blazed fist and began to wail on his face, but the Archdemon began to cackle once more, causing the Phantom to cease. I told you, I don't know, Lucifer said. Antithesis dropped the Archdemon's body and looked ahead at the next gate. And I will continue until I reach someone that can tell me. He said. With this, he walked through to the next circle. Lucifer sat up and turned towards the souls that watched the entire battle. What are you looking at? Lucifer said, glaring at them. Go back to being tortured. Just then, Asmodeus appeared of black hellfire behind Lucifer. Why didn't you kill him? The Archdemon of Lust asked his brother. Because I want one of the damned to, Lucifer said, his face completely healed. As Antithesis entered the next circle, he felt nothing but despair come over him. This is like my favorite part of the entire story. It has no fighting, just the atmosphere I describe in this part still scares me. It's insane. As Antithesis entered the next circle, he felt nothing but despair come over him. There was no hope of seeing his family, no hope of eternal glory, no hope of there even being an afterlife for him. The threat of his soul entering a void, a limbo, hung in his thoughts. Nothingness. As the spirit attempted to make his way to the next circle, he felt the pressure of despair increase exponentially as he struggled to see a cloaked figure standing utterly motionless in the exact center of the circle. He approached it and tried to see its face, but the lack of light would not let him. He leaned in to try to get a closer look, but as he did, he felt like giving up and committing suicide right then and there. He immediately leaned back and felt a little less depressed. It was then he found out that this demon was the one giving him the dark thoughts and feelings. The Phantom decided if the demon would let him go, then he would make his way to the final circle of damnation. As Antithesis approached the gate and looked back at the motionless demon, he wondered if even he could not best it. Unbeknownst to him, it was good he avoided conflict with Samael, the Archdemon of Death. So Samael is on a whole nother level, essentially, as far as the rest of the Archdemons go. I think we're almost done with this chapter. Yeah, we got like 2 more pages, two and a bit. So we're finally at the final circle. What's going to happen? We still have 3 chapters after this. Antithesis entered the final circle, and like but unlike some of the other circles, this one was completely different. This one did not resemble heaven, and it did not resemble hell, or darkness, or even fire. The circle resembled earth. As the Wraith approached a large modern house, he wondered why this was the case. Did beings that originated from other planets see something different? He would not get his answer before the door swung open into a black void. When he saw this, his mind forced him to immediately remember the house. This was his. He could hear nothing from the void, but he had a feeling it was calling to him, and that it held the answers he was looking for. Cautiously, the Spectre entered his replica of his house. Inside, nothing was there. He expected his old furniture to appear, but all that happened was the door closing behind him, and he was left alone in the darkness, unable to even see the hand in front of him. Then a deep, distorted, echoing voice called out to him. James Lee, what knowledge do you seek? Who are you? The spirit found it odd. His voice echoed as well. I am called many things, but most refer to me as the devil. The voice answered back. What brought you to the final circle of hell? Another voice called. The spectre could tell by the tone that this voice was younger. This was Damien, the youngest of the 3 hell-spawned children of Decimus. I seek the murder of my family. Yet you come to hell, a rather cynical, distorted voice asked. This was Athen, the middle child, but the most powerful of the 3. I was told by the archangels, the sources of my power, that a demon committed the act. It was not one of us, an echoing female voice said. This was Lilith, the firstborn and the leader of Hell's armies. Then who? Apotheo. What? Why? Ask him yourself, Athen said. Weave your way here, weave your way through heaven. I apologize for the trouble I have caused, the Heavenborn said humbly. Oh, it's no biggie, Athen said. Since you killed them in the dimension they were born in, they'll just reincarnate in a little while. We are, however, banning you from entering hell again. If I detect your presence again, I will kill you myself, and see to it that you are tortured by all the ones you've slain, Decimus said. You do not belong. Antithesis nodded, and the door behind him opened once more to the outside. The 3 hellspawns appeared to watch the Heavenborn leave, their father floating over them. On the outside of the void, the spectre looked at his hand, relieved to see them once more. Hands. Then checked the dimension belt before teleporting to heaven. Whoa! Did you see that coming? Did you see that twist coming? Dude just fought his way through hell, and they're like, nah, bro. It was the boy that did this to you. It was him. He did it. So that's where chapter 9 ends. We're gonna copy that, and we're gonna end the reading for today there. Oh god. Then we're gonna upload the Lilith picture for this one, maybe. For this part on Wattpad. I don't think I'm gonna do any more of the live readings for this story. If you want to read the rest of the story, you gotta read it on these sites when the final parts are uploaded. One of the sites. Hope everybody's doing well. We could upload any 3 of the main demons for this one. Or we'll do Lilith. Okay, that's done. I wonder if it's doing any better than 0 views. I doubt it. Nope. 9 parts to a story, 0 views. I love this site so much, man. Everybody died in this chapter, so there's no poll to add. When we get to heaven, there will be. I think it just said we had 222 views on this site. Oh, went from 6 back down to 5 readers? Oh. Okay. And it still has the most views out of all 3 sites. Both of the other sites combined, if I'm being perfectly honest. Five readers, 507 views. Okay, that's that. Now we're gonna get into the other part of the title, creating a villain group. So this is spoilers for the story down the line, but I really don't want to stop myself from continuing to write the story. The Descendant story. This is chapter 10. So I'm like 3 arcs ahead as far as where I am as far as like the 8th book. Like this happens 2 books after the 8th book, what I'm about to get into. And we only just released the 1st book. So yeah. Still don't have names for Anti's hooks and sights yet. The hooks of the haunted hooks. Not gonna need this open for like the next day. Close that. I'm just trying to minimize the amount of tabs we have open right now. Because my computer's not doing well. Got my I think it's the 6th rejection letter today. It sucks, but I'm just trying to stay positive and count down. I'm counting them because I want to see how many rejections I get until that eventual yes for a literary agent. Trying to stay positive with thinking, they're missing out. So this is all spoiler territory, but it's so far down the line you might forget what all of this even means or who these people are. So um, yeah. Uh, so I was gonna make these two, Malos and Detrius, two separate armies, right? So what happens in like the 9th and 10th book is Detrius comes down, right? The dragon of war, the alien dragon god, he comes down to Earth and he's like, yeah, y'all are out of control. So he creates these things called reconstructors through like three relics. Or the reconstructed, I forget which one I call them. Three relics from his home planet after he gets this absurd amount of power. I'm not going to spoil everything. He gets an absurd amount of power and creates these things so humans are being controlled. Then in the 10th book, Malos, my second or third most powerful character out of the 300 that I have, awakens from Daichi's lab. He's one of the hero killers, one of the things that are in the basement of Daichi's lab, and they're hinted at over and over throughout the course of the Descended series. They finally awaken, and at first Malos and Detrius are at odds because Malos, believes in freedom and all of that. Um, yeah, he believes in freedom. Detrius is controlling the planet, so they're at odds at first. But then they sort of come to the realization their goal is the same, their methods are different. So they kind of compromise and then come together. And there's this moment where they both look at, like the heroes are looking on at them fighting, and then during the course of their fight, while they're talking, they realize, oh, our end goal is pretty much the same. So then they both stop fighting and turn and both look at the heroes, and they both have like red eyes. So I just imagine that to be a really really cool like shot. I'm gonna look forward to describing. Um, but yeah, this is like I said, this is all spoilers down the line, way down the line. Um, these two come together and they become pretty much an unstoppable evil force. And then they have other people that join them, heroes that join them, and they get their whole organization set and ready to go. Where's Reeves in this document? In the anti-arcs. Yeah. So I'm gonna take her stuff from anti-arcs. I'm gonna copy it here because one of Detrius's powers is like, oh god, what did I call it? Like potential awakening or like unlocking somebody's full potential. So he does that to the people that join his and Malice's cause, and these heroes and villains both get stronger. Heroes and villains working together, while the rest of the heroes and villains view them as evil because of their methods. Um, Welcome to Stream Daddy, glad you can make it. So we're gonna copy his stuff too. Luminos' stuff is really specific. They're gonna get essentially through Detrius. They're gonna get all sorts of enhancements. Um, so does Strive already has his full potential unlocked, but it's not as strong as Malos, which is a little bit of a bad dynamic there. Mara is part of it. Archaeos is too. Um, yeah, this is a start. I was thinking of creating some other original characters as well for this group needs a name like the era, new era, rebirth. Evolution. These are just some concept names. I'm not sure if I want any of them just yet. Um, I'll have matching cloaks and Sclera. I want there to be like a tell that they're part of this that they're part of the this evil group. I wouldn't say they're evil, but like I said, I think their methods are the most evil. And with Malos being who Malos is, he is 100% not the of greatest of good people. Um, so if you look at the pictures I have of Malos and Detrius, I don't know. I don't think Detrius has black sclera, but I think anybody who pledges to Malos and becomes a part of this whole organization, this group, I think want their cloaks to match and their like their sclera, and I'll show you in a second. Sclera is like the white part of the eye. Um, I don't think Detrius is black sclera, but I think I might make it so he does in this once he becomes a like once they all become co-joined in this group. Yeah, he doesn't have black sclera, but like I said, he does have red eyes, and that's gonna make for a cool moment in the 10th book. Oh, let me rename Glacier. No, don't open it. Okay. All right. And if you look at Malos here, first of all of the Semigonics, all of these blue people, the tight suits, have black sclera. Like the whites of their eyes are actually black. Most of them, their irises are red, and then they have black pupils. Um, but I think it'd be dope if all of the people that are in Malos's group not accumulate, but have their sclera turn to black when they pledge their loyalty. Give another example of semigonic black sclera, or not even the semigonic. Lilith. Most of the demon characters have black sclera too. Omniarch has black sclera. Well, his whole face is pretty dark, but yeah. Oh, Cyber. He's from a different series, but he also has it. I just like the look. I really like the look of Black Slayer. It shows how it's intimidating to me. It's pretty spooky. Um, so their powers are gonna change. Their powers are gonna change. So we're just gonna copy over their abilities and see how much stronger we can make them if they're not already that strong. And I'm not sure about Ardentia joining the likes of these people, but if Seismic does, I have a good feeling that she might, unless I kill her off beforehand. Unless I kill her off before we get to the 10th book in the series. That's that. This stuff. Keep it bold. So these top five don't get any stronger because they're already pretty much at peak condition. Um, the other ones beneath them definitely do, and I want there to be a limit how many are in like the main group. Yes, they have people under them, but how many are in the main group of these very overpowered, strong uh, peeps? Excuse me. And because our like I don't know if I just said this, I don't remember, but because Ardentia has really similar powers to Malos, I don't know how much I really want her to be part of this group. And I was playing D&D yesterday, and we have like a modern version, like modern take on it, like it's happening in current time. Essentially, people getting all these superpowers and stuff. And we were introduced to this villain, this character we came across, and I wanted to kill the guy at first, right? Because I'm like, okay, he's clearly a villain. We got to take him out. And one of my teammates, um, one of my friends I'm playing with, was like, dude, no, we got to get out of here or we got to get him out of here. Those are the only two options. And hearing the fear in his voice made me fear what this guy could do because we just met the guy. Like, uh, he's from my the GM pulled him from an anime, but the fact I didn't know what he could do and the fact that my friend was freaking out about him made him that much more terrifying to me. And I like giving that sense of of horror. So I don't think I want Malice's powers to be very clear at first. When he's introduced in the series, Detrius, you kind of have to know what his abilities are as he goes through his whole thing in space. But Malos, I mean, it could be really clear what he can do, but I might even add to what he can do. You know. Um, so yeah, like I said, because Malice and Ardentia are pretty similar, I don't know if I want to kill off Ardentia earlier or put her somewhere else or, just not make her a part of this group. I'm not sure. Big spoiler, Seismic is going to become a part of this team. Whoa, I know, right? There's going to be lead up to show him going from hero to villain um, in the series. So you're gonna wonder how he ends up being here. Um, don't know if you're gonna remember that even a day or two from now, but yeah. So he's gonna get a bunch of abilities, matching and Cloaks and Black Sclera. Black Cloaks and Black Sclera. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I want a total of 12. So we probably have 3 more characters maybe to create. I could add Lazarus here, but I feel he's kind of been all over the place, and I kind of just want to kill him off before we even get to the 10th book. And I probably will. So we might have room for 3 more characters. One of which I already have a little bit of a backstory for. So one of Malos's many goals is to re-release the serum to the public on Earth, and not even at a price. Just everybody has the serum now. He re-releases it, and one of these people that gets the serum, there's nothing special about them, but Malos meets them, and they make use out of their ability to where they climb the ranks of this new organization that Malos created and become a part of Malos's ranks. So once we get to a point, maybe it might come to a point in the story where um, the heroes need information from the heroes at this point need information from this guy that looked up to Malos as he rose through the ranks to become a part of the main squad. Um, he's not going to give them any information, and we'll know why, because Malos believed in him because he didn't really see anything going for himself. And it'll also it'll also sound like a parallel between like this new guy and Lux, because before the serum came out, Lux didn't know what he wanted to do. And then he got overpowered and stuff like that. But I feel like a similar thing is going to happen with this guy, but somebody not so good believed in him, and he like I said, made use of his abilities and became a part of this main 12. It's 9 right now, but 3 more. I also have to look through my other characters um, to see who. Oh wait, I need to add Sidewind and Desolate here. See if anybody I have might be of use, and I'm only going to keep it to 12. They um might replace somebody if somebody dies, but that's the extent of it. They're not going past 12. They might go under 12. They're not going to go past 12. Sidewind and Desolate, and then I'm going to just copy this. Okay. So Lux is going to have an army too at this point in the story. Um, with what I'm telling you about Malos, you have to think if Lux is going to have any plot armor and be actually successful with taking down this overpowered villain organization. Or will the story change forever when these people succeed in their plans? You know? That's what I like. I like changing my story around due to characters' decisions or a character death or something like that. And not following what I think everybody might think is going to happen. So even though Lux is overpowered at this point in the story, I'm not going to tell you what happens with him. I'll still keep that spoiler free. But with how Lux gets overpowered, Tech gets a bunch of upgrades. Antithesis is already overpowered on his own, but with him joining Lux's army, then we got the Resistance. They're not overpowered in the slightest, but they're part of the army. They're there. Glacier, I changed his name, and I keep forgetting. Cryo Man being a part of it. He's from a different series, but because he's in a neighboring city of Haven, Mithra City. Well, it's just Mithra, I think I called it. He joins Lux's army, so there's a bit of cross play going on with series here. And yeah, down the line, things don't look so good for the heroes. Things are looking way different than they did before. Yes, we've had times where the heroes. What is it asking me? Oh, I just forgot the T. Yes, we've had times in the series, and you probably haven't gotten that far yet, but where the heroes look like they're down and out, but something overpowered happens. Somebody overpowered comes in, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen." We've had that maybe a handful of times in the series, but then when we get to this point, it's not looking the same. And based on your expectations from before of how many times it happened before in the series, you think that the heroes are going to find some BS way out of this. And I'm telling you now, that might not be the case. That might not be the case, my friends. So I think I wrote some notes down a few nights ago. Some yesterday, a few nights ago. Legs. Uh, Somebody with blood manipulation, that'd be cool. I'm thinking that's what this guy might do. That's what the guy I was talking about that rose through Malos' ranks, thinking he might manipulate blood. And that also might be poetic because he's given his literal blood, sweat, and tears to become a part of this Malos' organization, or as high up in Malos' organization. He's already a part of it, but as high up. So we're gonna going over the new document. And see what we can work with here. I need to clear some of these people out. There are 47 pages in this new character document. It's ridiculous. Um, so Pharaoh, I can move this over actually. I'm sorry, I really want to clear out some of this stuff. I can do it after stream, but it's sitting right in front of my face. Angels, demons. These are the hero killers. The group Malice becomes a part of at first. And he kind of takes a back seat when he's a part of this group. But then I think I'm going to have a scene where the hero killers come in contact with the fake Justice League. And Malos just shows his true colors in that battle. I like that idea. And Severo, who's supposedly the leader of this hero killer group, is like, "Yo, where's this coming from?" He's like, "Oh, it's always been there. I've just been watching you and admiring your effort to stop the heroes." Um, so I think that's also why I'm gonna keep them out of Malos's group. I think they're gonna turn to the more anti-hero side um, later down the line. So we're gonna make her neutral evil too. Uh, Diaz, the Hellspawn trio. It's the fake Justice League. When we get down here, okay. Put what's the Hellspawn trio? Actually, we'll put them under the hero killers. Yep. I need to just I need to separate these better. Some are descended, some are the angels from descended, some are the demons from descended, some is not even from descended. They're all mixed up in this whole thing. Let me see. Where does it first split is my question. Here, this is This is when we get to book 8. So do this. Eight descended beyond. This is when we go to space. These are all alien characters. This is all still alien characters. Deal Demon is not an alien character, so that needs to be somewhere else. I think anti-short story should have a thing too. Move the Deal Demon up. So the Deal Demon has their own arc. And it's after Beyond book Descended Deal Demon arc. He needs to be in Descended Beyond. My brother is supposed to send me the backstory for him. I still haven't gotten it. That's the royal family. So we'll go down here. This is Disturbed Delinquents. Okay. Okay, this can move back up to Beyond. Under Tribal. The space here. Okay, let's just disturb delinquents. We can figure out the rest later. As long as I just need Descended in order. That's way down the line. This is Beyond. This is all Beyond, Beyond, Beyond. This is after Beyond, but these are the newest characters I'm creating, so I'm going to keep it up here. Plus, I don't want to have to scroll down too far in order to get to them. Need to get rid of the angels and demons at the top here. This is really just, they're really references for their drawings. So I'm going to I really just want to move them over. I have not done anything with them in forever. I'm gonna move them over to the old new document. There we go. So that took like 2 pages at least. That's finally gone. Resistance villains. These are like short story villains. This guy will be somebody new. What manipulation? I don't have a name for them. Let's just use that. Male. He's gonna be human, so ethnicity. Doesn't have one yet. Doesn't have a name, doesn't have a real name. Neutral. Evil weapons. Probably a blade of some sort. Small blade. Looked up to Malos when Malos first began his organization and takeover. Rose through the ranks with the serum ability he was given. And became one of the 12 of Malos's main squad. Okay, these are gonna have to be moved. They're just taking up space too. So that's one. So it's gonna add Blood Boy to the thing. Like I said, I gotta look at my characters to see if anyone else that's alive makes sense in joining this Malice's squad. There's only 2 slots left. They're gonna have to fight for it. But yeah, I hope I didn't spoil too many things for you guys. That's gonna be it for today's stream. I don't stream Friday, so I won't be here tomorrow, but I will be back here Saturday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Monday we're gonna extend the time to an hour and a half, 9:30, 7 to 9:30 to see how well that does. And yeah, that's gonna be it from your boy today, guys. Thank you, the homie Jay, and Daddy Bounce for stopping by. And yeah, hope everybody stays safe out there. And this is Space Phoenix once again signing off.